So Jesus is telling them, when they first got on the mountain, he warned them, pray that you may not come into the time of trial. They didn't understand it. I like to believe they didn't understand it versus they didn't just completely disregarded Jesus. They didn't understand it. Then he went up, he did what he had to do. He prayed to God. He had his anguish. The blood came down. He got up. He came back to the disciples and found them sleeping because of grief. He asked them, why are you sleeping? Second time, he told them, get up and pray that you may not come into the time of trial or time of temptation. Same command. Now, you don't have to turn there, but you need to write this verse down. James 1, 2 and 3. It's full of scripture today. James 1, 2 and 3. He said, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing. James 1, 13 through 14 later on says, no one when tempted should say, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself tempts no one. But one is tempted by one's own desires, being lured and enticed by it. Now the reason why I'm giving you scriptural backing for all of these things is because of this scene that we have with Jesus on the Mount of Olives with his disciples. He warns them not to come into the time of trial, the kind of trial that equals temptation. They fall asleep because of grief. He comes back, he wakes them up, he tells them to pray that they not come into the time of temptation. And so I want to delineate between test and temptation for you. I know you're probably like, well, Pastor, we just came out of a series of test, temptation, and attack. We know that. But one, it bears repeating, and two, you got to apply it here. Because there are a lot of times, and we've said it before, where we think temptation is a test, and we let ourselves get into stuff. See, that's why I'm saying Vigilant is this series. Because you've got to be watchful. You got to be alert. Something that you think is a test is actually a temptation, and you get sucked in and knocked back. Okay? So follow me on this. James 1, 2, and 3 says that testing of your faith produces endurance. God tests your faith to make you stronger. That's the purpose of a test. God tests your faith to make you stronger. Now, the second scripture says, no one when tempted should say, I'm being tempted by God, because God can't be tempted by evil. He tempts no one. You're tempted by your own lust, your own desires. A temptation is designed to make you weaker. So let's put those next to each other. God tests your faith to make you stronger, but a temptation is designed to make you weaker. God will never, now this is what he gave me to give to you. When I was just sitting at my desk. God will never use your vice for a test. Everybody know your vice. Everybody has a different vice. Some people's vice could be gluttony and eating. Some people's vice is, something that they can get addicted to, which you can get addicted to just by anything. Some people's vice is sex. Some people's vice is laziness. Whatever your vice is, God will never use your vice for a test. A temptation, on the other hand, will never increase your faith. A temptation, something that's designed to make you weaker, will never increase your faith. The reason why I say this is because we do get confused. We think that we've overcome, and now God's going to walk you right back into that temptation to make you stronger. But Jesus himself told them, pray that you do not fall into trial. Our prayer is, lead us not into temptation. So why do we find ourselves in situations and then, come on, Shay, and then say, God is testing me. You turn around, you're surrounded by your temptation. You're surrounded by your vice. And you say, God must be tested. I must pass the test. A temptation is a test you can't pass. That was bad news for some people. I see a look on your face looking at me like, A temptation is a test you can't pass. That's right. You can retake it, and fail. Jesus himself said, stay away from it. Jesus himself said, pray that you do not get pulled into it. So what makes you think that's a part of his strategy to make you stronger. A temptation will make you weaker. Why do you think you were delivered from it?